What's up, folks? It's me, Dr. Mike, from YouTube. No, wait, we're on YouTube, so hello. This is the first video of a probably 12-part series on how to build your muscle growth training program. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to talk you guys through the theory and practice of how to arrange your training program. And then, because your boy needs a Lambo, we got this whole training app business coming out. RP Hypertrophy app, to be specific. It costs money because the money goes to the Lamborghinis. You guys already know how that works. And I would like for you to consider buying it. And I will be illustrating right there. Scott, the video guy right there. Yes, excellent, excellent. Synergy. I will be illustrating how you would build a hypertrophy training plan with the RP Hypertrophy app, which will be out very soon. Ooh, this is the first time we're saying it in public. Around mid-May 2023. So if you're watching this video in up to mid-May 2023, then hit the link in the description because it's going to take you to a mailing list where we take all of your information, social security, all that shit. Grandma's getting bunked off. We're going to take her money. No, wait, I said that wrong. We are going to sign you up. You just click the button and just voluntarily sign up for a promo list where you get tons of goodies and then a huge discount price and first look access at the RP Hypertrophy app when it comes out in mid-May, like the 15th-ish, but don't hold me to that. If you are here later, which maybe you are because you're a traveler from the future, then you want to still hit that link, same link. But what's going to happen in that case is it'll just take you right into a purchase screen for the app where we trick you with all kinds of pricing and positioning to buying the thing you hate. But once you buy it, you learn to love it. That's how I've been telling myself about the RP Hypertrophy app. I've been using it in my training. Actually, so has Scott, the video guy, and we both love it.
Love it.
Love it. He loves it. He knows what he's supposed to say. Corporate shills tell everyone what to do. So enough about that, enough upselling. Let's talk about how to make a split. The first thing you need to know is how many days a week you want to train. And there's a couple of things that factor into that equation. Number one is you just take the number of days in the week, divide by 18, multiply by time. I'm just kidding. Take the number of days in the week and you pick out the days or a number of days that you can for sure make it into training regularly. Because picking a 5-day-a-week program, because Jim, I'm going to get jacked 5 days is what it takes, great. But if you make the unfortunate error of overestimating your adherence abilities, you end up being like only available 3 days a week some days 6, some days 4. You will fall back on your plan. You'll have a bunch of missed days. That kind of sucks. Now, truth be told, the RP Hypertrophy app completely covers you on that front, so you can just go at your own pace. But like from your own personal karmic perspective, it's annoying. So when you're building your own program, whether you do it with the app or without, this video, by the way, every tip I'm going to give you works without the app. It's just super easy with the app. You pay money and then it becomes much easier. If you are building your own plan, it's good to be able to have high adherence because that, basically guarantees that you'll be the most successful possible and you won't psychologically debilitate yourself. This is nothing like letting yourself down. And it doesn't matter what goal you set. If it's set a goal high enough that's out of your reach, you're going to feel disappointed when you don't reach it. So, if you have a goal of making $1.5 million, but you only make $1 million, it's human psychology. You're going to get upset. So if you want to train 4 days a week, but you only make it 3, just do the right thing and say, okay, I want 3 days a week. Okay, cool. Second, ask yourself the question of what your training age is. Are you beginner, intermediate, or advanced? If you're a beginner, 2 to 3 training days a week, like if you've been training for 0 to 2 years and you're still getting your noob gains, 2 to 3 days a week is going to hook you up with great results. And it won't overwhelm you because a lot of training for a beginner can be physically and psychologically overwhelming. It's like, I just didn't sign up for this. Like if you go to the gun range and you want to pew-pew a little bit, that's cool. But if your first trip to the gun range is you end up just getting off a truck and you're in World War III and here's a gun, you fucking maggot, go shoot these aliens. You're like, what the fuck? These are real aliens. I can't shoot a real gun. I'm out of here. This sucks. Like it's a bit too much too soon. And that absolutely can happen. Tons and tons of people. I'm not just saying this to bullshit with you guys and get an opportunity to joke about shooting aliens in World War III, which we all know will be against the aliens. I've seen enough movies. It's just that I've seen so many people. I mean, I've been lifting weights for 25 years now. I've been a professor for about as long. I'm kidding, a little shorter than that, of sports science. I've just gone through a lot of stuff, and I just seen so many people be like, yeah, man, 5 days a week. And there's the first month of lifting, and then they just burn out. You just never see them again. So don't do that. 2 to 3 days a week, maybe 4 days a week if you're a beginner, but I got something better even for that. 2 to 3 for beginners in most cases. Intermediates, if you've been training 2-3 years to 5 to 7 years, you know training, you know your body. Anything like 3 to 5 days works really well. And if you're advanced, 7 years plus, really in the groove, really know your body, anywhere between 4 and 6 days or even 4 and 2 days a week. And by 2 a days, I mean like you train 6 days a week, but 3 of those days are 2 a day, so it's really 9 sessions. That works as well. If you are beginner and intermediate, and you, for the first time, are training with a certain frequency. Let's say you're usually used to training twice a week as a beginner. Now you've been lifting for 2 years, you bump up to 3 days a week. You're training for 3 days a week for a while. If you have a couple of mesocycles, a couple of programs, about a month long each, in which you have the distinct situation of, I want more training, I want more results. I love training and I can recover from this no problem. And on the days I'm not in the gym, I'm just like, just stewing. Your mom knocks on your door, like, what, mom? She's like, just go train. You're like, oh, but the program says. If that's you, then you're ready for another day of training. But what I'm saying is dip your toe in first. Give it a couple months of just training with whatever frequency is on the low end. You can always add more. And training frequency is one of these things that the low frequencies work really, really well. Your level of effort ratioed to results is really high when you train low frequency, like 2 or 3 days a week. As you go 4, 5, 6 days a week, your effort multiplies by a lot, but unfortunately your results only add by a little bit. So it's worth it to you, and it could be, but you got to make sure that it's worth it. If you've got amazing results from 3 days a week, don't change anything. And that you can recover both physically and psychologically, and you want more. Because you could be in a position where you train 3 days a week, recovering physically, no problem, psychologically, no problem. Someone's like, what do you think, 4 days a week, next month? And you're like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm getting great results and I just don't want to train anymore. I prefer to do other things with my time, like video games, book reading, loneliness. Girls. That's nice to do, girls. Ooh. Did that come off right or wrong, Scott the Video Guy?
Well.
Not that Scott the Video Guy would know anything about girls. Gee whiz, mister, you've sure been with a lot of pretty girls before. Scott the Video Guy is a Chad. Everyone knows this. In any case, that's the deal. Third, so first, we got how many days can you for sure train? Second is pick the number of training days roughly corresponding to how advanced you are in training and your training history. And third, you pick the number of days you actually want to train per week, and ideally pick which days you want to go on. Now, you don't have to do that. You can do what's called a floating schedule, where you just like show up, train, heal, train again, heal. 2 days later or 1 day later, train again, no problem. Usually better to label your training days. So we're going to try a 4x split just for illustration purposes. I got actually Scott the Video Guy's laptop here. I'm going to pawn it off after. Hey, Scott the Video Guy, how much money am I getting for this laptop?
Ooh, like 33.
$33.
Yeah.
Not bad. It's got a microchip and everything. So let's make this plan. We are right here. This is the alpha version, not even the beta version. The open paid beta is coming in mid-May. And then, of course, advanced versions after that will recognize whether you're a machine ally or not. Scanning. They'll do all that. But for now, this is the alpha version, so feel free to judge the interface, but it'll be getting better. We have an option here, so we can choose a preset mesocycle. That's kind of dope. Or we can create a custom mesocycle. So They got a question here. What is your sex? There's no option for yes. It's not that easy to get sex. So I'll say male. I'm a passable male. And since this is an Apple computer, I have no idea how to click on things. Okay. And if we are on choose a preset mesocycle, if you're not into all this mumbo jumbo of creating your own plan, which would be curious that you clicked on this video at all, you can absolutely hit one of these presets and it'll just load everything for you. And you can also hit a preset and then change what you like and don't like and then go to town. But just for the purposes of this demonstration, we are going to want to say create custom meso. All right, so we are doing a 4-day split, but since we hit custom, we get ported in to the custom program creator screen, which is super cool. This is only currently 2 days. So we are going to add a day and we are going to add a day. And this says no label, but we are going to pick our days. So I'll say Monday, and we're going to say this is labeled as Tuesday and Wednesday. I always say the word as it's spelled so that I can help remember how to spell. Actually, that was dumb. We need a day break. So actually Friday, and we're going to change this Wednesday to Thursday. That, you know, this is organic because I'm making mistakes on the spot. And then we get to the point where we have 4 days laid out and we can begin to add muscle groups. When you're choosing muscle groups, here are the rules. And this is if you're making your own program on your own time or if you're using the RP Hypertrophy app. First, in most cases, you only want to choose like 4 to 6 muscle groups maximum per day to train. Why? You can do more if you train only 2 or 3 times a week. But if you train 4, 5, 6 times a week, 4 to 6 is plenty because you're going to get so tired after training a bunch of muscle groups. Imagine training 7 muscle groups per day. After you've trained a 6th muscle group that day, what stimulus are you really going to be able to deliver on the 7th muscle group? I mean, fuck. You're really just mailing it in at that point. Someone's like, what are you training next? You're like, biceps. They're like, yeah, you ready to get that pump? You're like, I am barely alive anymore. I don't even know if I'm standing up or if this is a dream. So I would say if you want to hit it hard, keep the quality high, keep the number of muscle groups relatively small. Well, normal. And that's why you can have Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You can have an upper body, lower body, that whole thing, and get everything, all of your bases covered through this kind of split. Number 2, before we fill in these exercises, or pick the muscle groups rather, whatever is most important to you goes first. That is huge, 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 because you have the most energy when you start training. And whatever you have the most energy for at the beginning, you have the most stimulus drive to. If you really want a big back, but you train back as your 5th exercise or 5th movement or 5th muscle group of that day, really, how much back growth are you getting? On the other hand, if you train back first, you can be warmed up properly, connect with that muscle group, thrash that shit, violence type of energy, and then really, really good things happen. Point 3 is you want to try to split up the same or similar muscle groups such a way that they're trained symmetrically through the week and there's enough time between them to recover more. So for example, if you want to train chest in a 4-way split or a 4-day split rather, it's cool probably to train chest Monday and Thursday or Tuesday and Friday. But if you train chest Monday and Tuesday, you run into 2 problems. Problem number 1 is that you're supposed to be recovering and growing on Tuesday from the stimulus you put into your chest Monday, but you're interfering with that growth and recovery by training it hard again. And secondly, when you're supposed to be training hard on Tuesday for your chest, you can't because you're tired, fatigued, sore, and less able to produce force and thus present an overload and a stimulus because you're fucked up from Monday. It makes sense no way that you slice it. Now, if you reduce the volume sufficiently of each one, or at least the Monday, you can go back to back, then what the fuck do you do with the rest of the week? You generally want symmetry, spreading muscle groups apart as much as possible. Lastly, and this is fancy, but you guys get the fancy because this is Renaissance periodization. We try to get you all the science, is you want to avoid gnarly muscle group overlap that isn't obvious, but will screw up your ability to have a good training stimulus. For example, if you do chest Monday and chest Thursday, but triceps Tuesday and triceps Friday, that could work, but it could not work because your chest is something when you train it Monday, Thursday, if you do pressing, it could leave your triceps tired and sore for the Tuesday, Friday workout, which is not ideal for the stimulus end of those workouts. When you train your triceps Tuesday, Friday, very shortly after, the Friday thing is fine because you have 2 days to recover, no worries. But if you train your triceps Tuesday and you got to hit your chest again on, Thursday, it's kind of like you might still be not so fresh because your triceps are still fucked up. And then you got to train chest again. And then because your triceps are really tired, the limiting factor becomes triceps. And more than likely, you're just going to start to get elbow pain and stuff like that. So those are the rules you want to use. And that's the deal. Now, I'm about to make this sample workout split here. As I said before, if this all sounds really intense and you're like, bro, what the fucking science? Jesus, just build a fucking program. Great. We have programs for you preset into this app already if you simply go and click preset instead of custom. And then you pick the number of days you want to train per week, and it's got you doing all the lower body, upper body, whole body, chest and back, arms and shoulders, et cetera, et cetera. And these are already loaded with muscle group selections for you. I personally made all of these, right? So the upsides are that you already have a structure. And first of all, you pay nothing extra with these. Yes, every single of these, every single RP Hypertrophy app has 25 plus programs in it already. You pay nothing extra for them. It's not like unlock this program for $1.50. Fuck that. Is just in there and will always be in there. You can choose one that's as close to what you need, or ideally exactly what you need, and there's tons of options for 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, 6-day, everything. All the different muscle groups prioritized. And lastly, you can run it verbatim. You're like, fuck thinking, click, workout, boom, I'm jacked. Or you can say, I really do like this whole split. I just don't like that biceps is on this day, or I kind of want it on this other day. You can click and drag anything you want around. I'll show that in a sec. Or delete or add, and thus you can take a basic split that's good from Dr. Mike, household name, and modify it to exactly what you need it to be, right? And if you fucked up a little bit too much trying to modify something and you're like, I don't even know where I began, fuck it. Click the back button, delete that mesocycle or just leave it alone, and you can create a new mesocycle anytime you want, which is super, super fucking dope, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and add some muscle groups here, see what the options are. Chest is first. Hell yeah. You guys know bros made this shit. So chest, and it asks me to select an exercise, but we will be doing that in the next video because which exercises you select is entirely a whole different topic. So let's say chest, and then we do back. Watch this. This is going to piss off a lot of people. Then we go to Tuesday, and we go biceps, triceps. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait for it. Shoulders and traps. But wait, there's more. Thursday, we're going to do back and then chest. Kind of cool to give one priority over the other. Both have a day in which they're pushed and ones on which they're not. And then Friday, we start with shoulders and traps. We go biceps next, and we finish up with triceps. And if that's not the perfect plan for a bro physique, I don't know what is. Yes, we could have trained abs, but fuck that. So that's the split. And that basically takes us to a point where we are ready to potentially click and create the mesocycle. However, We will not be doing that because the nuance of what exercises to pick takes its own video, and we will see you guys next time for that video. And if you're excited about the RP Hypertrophy app, or it's after mid-May 2023 and you're also excited about the app but it's already out, either just go in the description, click on the link, either sign up for the beta release with tons of goodies in the bundle and tons of emails full of free stuff, or just click on it and you'll be taken right to a pay screen where your money comes in and my butler's buying Lamborghinis comes out. That's the machine we're building here. Folks, we'll see you next week for exercise selection, talk you through principles, concepts, theory, and illustrate on the RP Hypertrophy app. See you then.